So today I'm taking a few moments to talk with Trent McLaren, who is with a fintech called DiviPay. When I heard about DiviPay, what I liked was that it solves a couple of problems that our clients regularly have. Now, Trent knows that we work with franchises, and most of our clients will be just the business owner and their spouse, maybe one or two team members. And so what we wanted to talk about today and show to people who are watching is how this might work for a couple of the situations that we experience. Now, one of them is that we've got clients who have spend money in various different places, but might want to control it a little bit better than they currently do. So, for instance, let's say you've got a business where you do a fair amount of client meetings or client entertainment, and it's really easy to overspend in that department. Or you do gift buying for clients. Well, we've got some people who are tradies and do handyman services, and we all know that if you go to Bunnings or the the office equivalent, Officeworks, every time you go in, you end up coming out with stuff that you never intended to buy. We might want to have better control over how much we have available to spend, just to put a bit of a hurdle in the way of buying that shiny new object, particularly if you're thinking, well, you want to put some extra money into super. That bit of extra super isn't going to be available if you've bought a thing that you didn't really need. So this just makes it a little bit easier to be in control of your money.
I'm going to share my screen here, and the first thing we're going to see is the DiviPay.com website. So for anyone that's listening and watching, feel free to check out DiviPay.com to see a bit more, to understand how we work and what we do. I'm landing on my budget screen to start with, and I said this at the beginning. When you set up with DiviPay, we give you a bank account that you transfer money into. So I can see here I've got $50,000, I wish, in my bank account balance. And there's a BSB account number here for that amount. Once I've got the money in, my next job is then to distribute that money into budgets that I can control. And this is, to Kate, your point, this is the best way to help put better controls in place so I'm not overspending when I should be. And let's say I create one, and we call this our client entertainment budget. And I want to have this reset the limit every single week. So if I say that I'm allowed $500 a week on client entertainment, and I'm going to give this to James, who's the owner, and I'm going to give it to Mark, who's part of my team, but I want to make sure that he's got access to a card because he often has catch-ups with clients and so forth. Now, because James is the owner, I want James to also be able to request top-ups so he can add more money to this budget should he need to. The first thing I'm going to do is set a limit on how much they can spend of the $500. So James is allowed to spend $400 for the week. Mark's allowed to spend $100. I can do this on every single budget. And if I've got 3 or 4 or 5 team members, I could have different limits for each person, depending on what the total limit of the budget is. When I hit create, this will automatically create these cards for the team member and for the owner. So on your phone, you'll get a little notification that says Trent has added you to a budget and you've got $400 to spend. Now, if I was to pivot that across to the DiviPay mobile app and just show you what that looks like there as well. So when I log into the DiviPay mobile app, what I can see is the budget that I've been allocated. So if I'm the team, like the user of the card, so I'm whether the owner or whoever else, I've only got $325 to spend from my general budget. If I've been allocated to multiple budgets, I can see all of them here. So I've got one for my partnerships work. I click on partnerships. I click on using this budget in Apple Pay. Also works on Google Pay. I click Apple Pay, and then all I do is double click the side of my phone to bring up Face ID. And then I tap and pay with my phone, no different to what I would do with a physical card. And it's really important to say that because some people don't know how to use a digital phone card versus a physical card. It's very simple. You very much just exactly what I've just done there, tap and pay wherever I would have done with my physical card. Once I've completed the payment, I go to my expenses to capture the receipt. I'll get a notification to say, hey Trent, you've spent $20. Can you take a picture of the receipt and put it straight into your app? If I show you a completed transaction, but I've paid for a coffee online at my coffee shop around the corner. I've uploaded the invoice of the receipt, the GST, which you can see here, also then populates onto the screen here. Now, DiviPay integrates with your accounting or a lot of accounting software. So when a payment is made, we've automatically categorized it as a meal. Therefore, it will go through to the associated chart of account in your accounting software. So your record keeping becomes really simple and streamlined as soon as the payment's made, not when the receipt is captured. And that's a really important point to make because a lot of people get stuck trying to find receipts and they've got a shoebox or a car box full of them or whatever it may be. That's not the case. Take a picture, the payment happens, it all goes through into your accounting, and Kate and her team are a lot happier. And the one thing I think I was going to point out is obviously just the transactions and how they flow through. So because DiviPay is both the bank account and your card, we give you a DiviPay bank statement. So you see every single transaction in real time hitting here on your DiviPay account. So I can see all the Google payments or all the different things that have happened here, and I can filter it by team member as well. So if I want to see specifically how much James is spending and what he's spending on, I can pull that in and say, hey James, I noticed you spent $400 at Icebergs, and I'm pretty sure last time I checked that's nothing work related. I mean, you're a tradesman, I don't know what you spent $400 at Icebergs at. So you can have these full transparency and conversations on where's the money going and why is it at Icebergs. Or I can do it based on categories. I can do it based on someone not uploading the receipt. There's so many different ways I can split the transaction so that I can see in real time where exactly is all have the money been going to.
Yeah. So we love that. It's for those people who are using Dext, this isn't a replacement for Dext. It's got some similar features, but really it's the combination of the budget setting and the recording. That's the thing for this. So we love it for the element of control. But there's another category of spending that quite a lot of clients have challenges with, which is the number of things that you have to subscribe to now to run a business. So in our practice, we probably have, I don't know, at least six or eight monthly subscriptions that we have to run our practice. We've got clients who have many subscriptions, and there's a couple of challenges with those. One is if you ever lose your debit card, every one of your subscriptions needs to be updated with a new card detail, which is a giant pain in the backside. Secondly, when it comes to the accounting for them, many of these do not supply an easy to use invoice, which means that when we try and keep a record of the transactions, we don't see it always, we don't see the invoice, we don't know the GST status, and some of them don't charge GST. And some of them can be large amounts where we actually do need to have proper documentation. So we struggle sometimes with that. I know that's frustrating for clients, but we think that DiviPay could be helpful for this because it allows us to manage the subscriptions in a different way. So why don't you take us through that, Trent?
Yeah, thanks. Love to. So I always revert back to what happens when you lose your wallet, and you kind of said the same thing around what happens if your debit card gets lost or stolen or whatever it may be. We help create a subscription card for every different app in your business. So it's a lot of people think, wait, but I've got one card now, and now you want to give me like 10 cards? And I'm like, in theory, yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to give you one card for each application. And to the point we've kind of already raised, it allows me to help keep track of all of the spend on that particular app. So in this example, I've got a $300 a month budget for Google, and I can see that I'm not spending over that each month. If I needed to pause this card because I was concerned about a fraudulent transaction, I can do that in seconds. Like I've just done that there. I've paused this card. There are no more payments that can go through on this card, or I can unfreeze it because I've decided, okay, no, that was fine. I can understand what that payment was. There was a different Google charge, but we're okay now. And I'll see it here underneath. If it's not Google and it's showing a different merchant, then again, I know automatically, well, how did that happen? Like, why did that happen? So our subscriptions product is designed to help give you full transparency on all the different apps in your business. And also even just stop double ups. I've seen some agencies and businesses where they're subscribed to the same service 2 or 3 times because there's multiple people in the team that aren't talking to each other about all the tools that they are a part of. So having one place to manage all the subscriptions to the business helps you with better budgeting as well, but also better security so that we're not at risk of having to try and replace all the cards or going over the budgets that we've allocated for that particular piece of software. But that's subscriptions in a nutshell.
And so there's a little bit of setup because you've got to change the card number for your subscriptions.
Yes.
But there's always going to be setup, and I've got to say that the discipline of going through all the subscriptions that you have in your business once a year is very wise. I know that from time to time, particularly with the ones that you sign up for once a year, that you discover that you've got things that you really don't need or use or want, and it's a little bit of housekeeping that you might find saves you a bit of money as well.
Yeah, and this is an example of how we create a subscription. So I've got one here for Twitter ads. I've put Kimberly associated to that. I'm going to give her $1,000 a month. And when I hit create, that would actually then put a new card on her phone where she can access the credit card number so that she can then put that into Twitter so that she can then pay for those services that she's using. I also choose how I want the transactions to be coded. So this will go through to my accounting again automatically because I've selected it. And actually I would probably do this one as marketing and advertising. And then hit create and then it's done. It would just sit there on my dashboard automatically here, which you can see.
And so that makes it easier for us, particularly if you are setting up these kind of marketing and advertising campaigns. We don't have to ask you where it needs to go. You can say, well, I'm going to allocate all my Twitter ads to marketing, rather than us have to guess or ask you. We just deal with the accounting end of it in a way that is consistent and low involvement for you. So certainly we can help get these accounts connected and get them allocated to the right spot. That's the benefits of using DiviPay. Let's talk about the cost, Trent.
Good idea. I'll start with it's not free, but everyone always wishes it was, like all things. We charge based on the number of users that are in your account. So when you go to DiviPay.com and you click on pricing, you can view all of these features here. Now there is a promotional special I'm going to talk about. So let me talk about that at the end, but I'll explain this part first. So if you were a small user in terms of the number of payments you're processing, you start at $6 per user per month. So it's less than 20 payments per month total across the business. That can be really good if you're just spending on a few things each month, or you're using personal accounts and business accounts and you're trying to avoid mixing and matching. That starter account's really good. Our growth plan is where most of our businesses get to, especially the ones that are growing and a little bit bigger. It's $17 per user per month. That allows you to do things like the subscriptions that we talked about just before. We can do custom categories and create approvals on your transaction screen so you can better filter transactions and payments the right way, and also do top-up requests. So if I need to request more money for a budget, that functionality is available in my mobile application. And that's $17 per user per month, up to 150 business payments per month. So if there was 10 people in the business, they're all using DiviPay, it's $17 times 10, $170 per month. That scales up and down depending on the number of users in your account. We are a month-to-month service. You're not locked into a contract or anything like that. You can have 4 users one month, 10 the next, back down to 4, and we would just accommodate the billing based on those users. Now, for July specifically, we're giving everyone that is watching this video today is able to get DiviPay at 50% off for a 6-month period. So 50% off for a 6-month period based on the number of users in your account. So again, if you're 10 times users 170 at 50% off, And I hadn't thought about trying to do maths on the spot, but we're looking at around $80 $85 a month for a 6-month period. And we do that to help you get an understanding of what we do, how it works, and get some usability, get your experience up with it. If you need things like training, support, coaching, the DiviPay team is here to help you with that. And we obviously work with Kate as well to make sure that everyone is set up and using it the right way. So you've got our support through the whole process. But as I said, it's 50% off for 6 months if you sign up before the end of July. So it expires on July 31. We're happy to run, and we can have individual conversations if we need to as well. But that's all the info, and I hope the video's obviously made sense and been helpful for everyone that's watching this now.
Yeah, I think it has. And just on that, so most of our clients, it's going to be 1 or 2 users. So not in terms of the cost of using it, yes, there is a cost, but I reckon that for the people that this would be applicable for, it will save them at least that in terms of that budget management, which is the real benefit of this, and bit more predictability in terms of where things end up in their chart of accounts.
Definitely a lot better quality of data. You'll have better visibility on all of your spending each month, and you'll also be able to avoid sharing your credit card around the office with other people in your team, or wondering, like I've seen my wife do this, where I've said, hey, can I have the card? And then she'll text me the PIN, and we'll do it in different ways. And I had to do that this week myself. It's embarrassing for a personal matter, but this happens in everyday life. So it's just a much better way to process payments. Yeah.
Now, Trent, as the accountant, can we get access to the setup side of DiviPay to help people get things coded and configured right?
Correct. Yeah. So, from your side, Kate, you're able to access that end to look at all the transactions, help with the coding, help with the setup. 100%. Yes. Yeah.
So if you're a client of ours and you decide to get DiviPay, you'll need to figure out you'll need to pay them, but we will commit to helping you get it set up and integrated with your Xero so that things go to the right spot. So really, we want to make it easy for you, because we think that this is a really great tool for many clients, actually. So that's DiviPay. We really like this as a way to help clients manage their money better. From our point of view, this is about giving clients access to really great tools to help them with their business. That's what we want to do to make the accounting side easier, so that you get better reports and can better grow and improve the financial performance of your business. Just in the interests of full disclosure, we don't benefit from this. So we're doing this because we see it as a benefit to you. This is not a benefit to our financial position in terms of the firm. So this is us really genuinely trying to help you get a better result in your business. So Trent, thank you for your time today. I think it's a great addition to the financial management tools that are available for small businesses. Certainly way better than having 5 different bank accounts and shuffling money between them, which for clients that do that is a surefire way of making your accounting fees blow out, because it's super difficult to manage. And some people do try that. They'll do I'll put money in a separate account. And it is really, really hard to do the accounting for that. It kind of works a little bit if you do it in your personal banking, but for business, it's really a horrible solution and very costly. So this gives you the same sort of outcomes of money management without the accounting headaches of that multiple bank accounts problem.
Completely agree. Yeah, no, we're very passionate about the problem that we're trying to solve, and we look forward to working with obviously people that are watching this video, and look forward to helping you solve it in your business as well. So thanks for having me along, and thanks for the opportunity.
That's great. Thanks, Trent.